Test match, 7 wickets for Shane Warne. Big Merv's got great hands. He won't miss it. And there it is. A great victory for Australia and a tremendous day's work for Shane Warne.
We are delving into the cricket life of Shane Warne. We've just seen you knock over the West Indies. You've got the 7 for... We're about to go to the Ashes and that famous delivery. But before that, you discussed your first Test match and lacking belief and the belief you got from that performance against the West Indies. Then you went on and dominated that series. You got a lot of wickets against New Zealand. How important is belief for an elite athlete and how do you gain it?
Yeah, no, it's a good question, Howie. Belief comes from within. So no matter how many people say you're good enough, just back yourself. It's great and it's good for your confidence and it's great that people are saying that, but you're the only one that knows whether you're ready or not. You're the only one who knows deep down if you believe. And no matter what anyone else says to you, you have to believe. So as I said before, when you first start, you just don't want to embarrass yourself. And once you sort of do what I did with Richie Richardson, in my case, Richie Richardson there, I started to believe that I could do it at this level. Now, this is the best side in the world. Haven't lost a series for 15 years. Haynes, Richardson, you know, you go on and on and on. Ambrose, Walsh, Patterson, Bishop, etc. We beat them. And I helped win that Test match. I took 7 for 50 on the last day. So I thought, this is the best side in the world. These are some of the best players in the world. I am good enough. So what happens then? You start to expand your game. You don't just be cautious. You take a risk. Like it could be in any sport. You don't just do the right thing. You know, if you're a backman in AFL, I'm going to stand on my backman and not get him a kick. Suddenly you start to run off.
Yeah.
Suddenly you start to do other things. You start to take a risk. You get a bit experimental. You back yourself. That's the key. So I started to back myself. So after that, I started to believe that I am good enough. And it's amazing once you do it the first time against the best, what you can achieve then. Then it's like, well, how good am I? So you don't worry about embarrassing yourself anymore. It's about how good am I? I want to test myself. Now, not everyone wants to, but I wanted to test myself against the best. I wanted to play against the best people in a great team and say, right, bring it on. What have you got? Let's see. And as you said, we went to New Zealand, we hammered New Zealand, and they had some great players. John Wright, Andrew Jones, Martin Crowe, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. They had some really good players. And we went over there, had a great series against New Zealand. I think actually it might have been a drawn series, but it was a great series. And then I get picked for the Ashes. And that's what you're leading up to. So,
well, with the Ashes, we'll see the famous delivery in a moment, but talking to you about this in the past and reading your book, people forget what happened in the lead-up to the Ashes in the county matches where you used to be able to play all those fantastic lead-up matches. You came up against Graham Hick, who was this superstar that needed to play enough games to qualify for England, murdered them in county cricket, and he murdered Shane Warne. People forget that.
He did. So first of all, being selected for an Ashes series was pretty amazing. We still didn't get a cap presented or anything like that. Like if you go back, our first Test match, I had to go into what used to be called ACB back then, Cricket Australia, and there was a green bag in there, green old coffin that had your shirt, jumpers, hat.
And that's where you got your bag in?
Yeah, I just unzipped it when I got home and it was all in there. So there was no presentation, whacked it straight on. So it was a different, so there was no Ashes special thing or anything like that. And I just remember sitting on the plane with Merv saying, Merv, what's so special about the Ashes? I remember being in Bristol playing league cricket when you guys regained the Ashes. It was amazing. It looked awesome. And he goes, I tell you what, it's so good. There's no air travel for starters. So you're on a bus with all your teammates for 6 months just driving around. 2, we're sponsored by a beer company. 3, there are still rest days in Test cricket. And 4, England are crap. He said the Ashes series are awesome. So I'm thinking, oh, this is going to be great. This is going to be great. So we get to the first game, as you talked about, Howie, and we're playing Worcester. We played at Arundel, a little warm-up game. Then we get to Worcester for the first proper game. And Alan Border pulls me aside and he said, mate, they've got a guy on this side called Graham Hick. You know him? And I said, yeah. He said, he can play. This guy can seriously play. He's smashing, making all sorts of runs. England know he's going to be good and he's going to play a huge part in the Ashes series. So I don't want you to show him anything. When you bowl to him, just bowl leg breaks. Don't bowl wrong-uns and flippers and toppies and anything. Just leggies. I said, can I bowl round the wicket? He goes, yeah, you can bowl the odd one around, but not too much, just mainly over the wicket, leg breaks. Oh, it should be okay for him anyway, Skip. Anyway, 206 runs later, Graham Hick, 13 sixes he hit me for.
Wow.
So I'm on this journey of playing third, fourth grade, lose a first grade grand final in 89 for St Kilda, get picked in the state squad, play for Victoria, go to the West Indies on a youth tour, Zimbabwe on a second tour, make my test debut, get hammered, Sri Lanka hammered, do okay against New Zealand. Now I'm like, I'm ready to fight the world. Oh, he's just made 206, my first Ashes series, about to play the first test match. Just got that little doubt just came in again, like, hang on, I'm good enough. But just getting hammered for 206, even though I was only bowling leggies, I remember sitting in my room the night before the test match thinking, geez, I hope it goes okay. Rather than bring them on, it was like, I hope this goes okay. So the first test match of an Ashes series in England at Old Trafford, the intensity and atmosphere was even more than I dreamed and thought it was going to be like. Walking out, it was just AB and Booney and Tubbs and Merv, and it was awesome. But the nerves then suddenly set in, like, can I deliver? So England win the toss and they elect to take the really aggressive option and bowl first. And Mark Taylor makes a great 100, like an awesome 100 from Tubb. And I think we're 6 down or something overnight. So I'm going to bat tomorrow and I'm going to bowl. The wicket falls, I go out to bat, I run Craig McDermott out. So that's Brian there. It's like, oh no, I've just run Craig McDermott out. No, that's not. No. Anyway, we go in there, we go out to bowl, and England get off to a bit of a flyer. Atherton and Gooch. Gooch was the best English batsman I ever bowled to.
Gucci.
Oh, he was awesome, Graham Gooch. So they do really well. Alan Border decides, so Merv got Atherton out. Gadding comes in. They start to do okay. Merv decides, AB decides to bring me on. Now I'm a bit like, Graham Gooch, Mike Gadding, Dickie Bird's the umpire. So to sit there, I sort of stood at the top of my mark. I looked around the field and I thought, come on, let's just rip one. I said, they don't rate you. Hickey smashed you all over the place. So I'm starting to think of all these things over the last few days. So I'm standing at the top of my mark and I thought, I'm just going to rip one past Mike Gadding and send the Poms a message that, look out.
It's a fair message.
I'm going to bowl one that's going to, I'm just going to send a message. And then I bowl what to me is, as a leg spinner, what you try and do is bowl that ball every time. Yeah. The perfect leg break. So to do it with my first ball in an Ashes cricket match against England's best player, spin, with Gooch at the other end after what had just happened in the tour game, and having a few doubts, and then having the courage to stand at the top of mark saying, right, let's send him a message.
Look at this. Look at the drift to leg.
Just outside leg with a little bit of curve, and that's a
beautiful
top of off.
I mean, it was...
It's a perfect ball.
It's a perfect leg break, yeah. And
declared the ball of the century.
Yeah, so, I mean... it changed my life, that ball, but it was... For me, personally, that meant so much to bowl that sort of delivery in an Ashes series. My first ball, where it was Old Trafford, it was cold and everything, to be able to do that first ball, I never did it again.
Right.
I played for 23 years, I never did it again, Howie. I bowled maybe some better deliveries than that didn't take wickets, but I never did that again with take a wicket with my first ball like that. I took a couple of wickets first ball, but not like that, like the perfect leg break with your first ball of a spell in your first ever Ashes series to the best player of spin to go bang, and I'm going to send him a message.
First ball in Test cricket in England for Shane Warne.
I'm proud of myself to say I'm going to send him a message here rather than just get really nervous. Something inside me just said, right.
And he's done it.
I'm going to give it to him.
He started off with the most beautiful delivery. Gadding has absolutely no idea what has happened to it. He still doesn't know. That's on top of the roof.
That's a wrong 6 again.
Goes for it. There's a man out there who's getting under it. And he's got it.
A couple of things I wanted to highlight with you. You're a fine batsman. You're a fine lower order batsman who could play shots. Never
Yes.
to make a Test 100.
Yeah.
Now, before we get into this, we don't have the vision that could potentially show this is a no ball. We do not have that.
Oh.
We do not have that, Shane.
Come
All
on.
we have is Shane Warne versus the Kiwis
Yes.
on 99 alongside McGrath. So it's well, what's happened here? Vittori serves it up. You're on 99. What about just a little turn around the corner or a push out into the covers?
Yeah, I thought about that most days. Just a little lap sweep for one.
Yes, anything.
I mean, there's a guy here, I remember watching the old footage, he said Warnie's grouse at cricket or something. He had a T-shirt on in the crowd and he absolutely lost it. And I remember walking off thinking, that's exactly how I feel.
What do they say in the change rooms when you walk in there?
Well, it was dead silence.
I bet it was.
And I walked in and Brute Bernard, Steve Bernard, the manager, had a chair in the shower. So the old whacker change rooms there, used to walk in and he'd walk through the change rooms and he'd put a chair under the shower, in the showers there, because I had a dart. And I went in there to have
I
a dart.
can't watch that.
And had a dart in there and just went, you idiot. And Brute sort of said hard lines. And Junior came here, give me a pat and said, bad luck, mate. And I said, nah, mate, I just choked. I just gassed it. And then everyone sort of laughed. We had a beer and that was it. It was done. It was, but look, I enjoyed batting. And all through my growing up, I was always a batsman. But I should have practiced harder. I was just so intent on making my bowling the best I could that I sort of dropped off practicing my batting. And it wasn't until later in my career that I started to work on my batting again. And, I got some rewards for that. But, yeah, most test runs in the history of the game without 100, Howie. 100.
Well, let's
forget that.
Let's forget that. Let's talk hat-tricks. Let's talk hat-tricks. Let's roll it and talk us through it. You can't talk to you without talking about a hat-trick. Set it up.
Well, yeah, so this is 94, 95, so things are going really well. I bowled the first ball to Phil DeFreitas, got him out LBW, didn't pick a straight one. A great catch from Ian Healy there, Darren Goff, first ball. So now I'm once again at the MCG and I'm on a hat-trick. I should have got one the test match before, I bowled a wrong and a tough and missed it. So now Devon Malcolm comes in and looking like RoboCop. It's Booney's birthday.
Booney.
And he takes a screamer. The keg on legs takes an absolute screamer on his birthday. I mean, it's the one and only hat-trick I took in my whole, no, fourth grade, third grade, under 14, never took a hat-trick anywhere. And look at that for a catch. He was the best in there. He was
and how did
so
Tony
good.
go?
What's that?
With Tony, with his famous commentary.
And here we go. He's got his hat-trick to Shane Warne.
I spent too much time in commentary boxes with you listening to that.
But what a catch. I mean, that is just a beauty from Booney. What a catch.
Hat-tricks are obviously, you need the support of those around you.
Yes.
Damien Fleming.
Yes.
Was famously on a hat-trick.
Yes.
Edge comes to SK. Two Victorian teammates.
Yeah.
So that's a Healy. Is that Healy? That's a fair catch.
Yeah, I was with Flemmo when he got his first hat-trick at Rawalpindi in Pakistan.
Yep. So this is the hat-trick ball for Flem. He's got the great Victorian at slip, ready to go. Pitches it up, moves away, straight to Wall.
I took so many catches off Flemmo as well.
So what do you say to him?
Victoria, Australia. So, well, for starters, it's a horror drop. But in Adelaide, it was so hard to be fielding up really close, and it was nice of Flem to say bad luck because I took so many catches off him. But look, he didn't deserve to anyway, Flemmo. Me, Merv, and Flem, one hat-trick each. Thanks, that's what we're after, the Vicks. I know, it's still, I wish I had caught it.
I think we.
Well, let's show it again then, why don't we?
Hey, move on. Get rid of it. We've had a laugh and we've highlighted some amazing moments in your career. The World Cup in South Africa in 2003.
Yep.
You get sent home. It is the biggest story, sports story, whatever.
Yep.
What are your memories? What's your explanation of what happened? And how did you spend your time a year out of the game you loved?
Well, yeah, first of all, I mean, 2003 was a bloody tough year. I got banned for a year And the reason I got banned for a year is I got sent home from the 2003 World Cup for testing positive to a drug test. Now, I've never touched drugs in my life. I've never even been interested in them. I've never touched them. I've never done anything. And anyone that knows me knows that I hate being around it. If anyone does it, I'll throw them away or just leave the situation. I just don't do it. So when I got tested for a random drug test, I went, I don't do drugs, never have, and I don't take any other pills or anything. So I don't understand what this is for. So I got onto Errol Alcott, our physio, and we went through my toilet bag, we went through everything in there, and I said, mate, what is it something...
Have a look at the interest.
Can
we just see that shot, even just freeze it as Shane is talking about what was going on? Sorry. Like, look at the press pack.
Yeah, that was following me everywhere, outside my house,
so
everywhere.
How do you feel when you step in front of that?
Well, one, I felt I let my teammates down, but I felt like I also didn't do anything wrong because I knew I didn't take anything that was illegal. As it turned out, I was talking about Errol Alcott, we went through everything and I didn't have anything there. He said, well, is someone giving you something that like a headache tablet or, Sudafed? I go, no, the only thing I can think of is my mum gave me a fluid tablet. Now, this is where I get the shits a little bit. I know I shouldn't say it, but I get the shits a little bit because I never, ever blame my mum. What I did was I said where I got it from. It wasn't black market, from a laneway down to somewhere. Yeah. It was just my mum gave it me innocently, like, hey, Harry, which she used to call me Harry. She goes, you're putting on a few, those chins are coming back. And remember, I was out of the team because I popped my shoulder. I dislocated my shoulder and I was trying to get back in time for the World Cup. So Errol Alcott, who's got the best hands in the business, was getting me back. We were working our butts off and it was hard. He was moving my arm.
I think have we got the... Again, I'm watching this in Newcastle. I know where all these things happen, and there goes your shoulder. So for those that aren't aware, you popped it out in one day.
It was the most painful thing. I don't know. And remember, I'd had 2 shoulder operations already there. So I'd had what's called a slap lesion. I'd had another tightening of a joint, shaved my tendons. I had 4 pins in my shoulder, and then I dislocated. So after all that shoulder, to then dislocate my shoulder, it bloody hurt. And I went in the change rooms, went to the hospital. Errol Alcott put it straight back in. But because of my other shoulder problems I'd had, it was really bad. Like, some people pop your shoulder. Yes, it still hurts. But I had extra complications. So Hooter said, I'll get you back for the World Cup. But you're going to work hard and it's going to bloody hurt. It's going to really hurt. Like, he was moving it and all that sort of stuff. And so anyway, I did all that. There's Hooter. That's Errol Alcott, the physio. So I got everything done. So just before I got picked to go back to the World Cup, I go back to the story. Mum said, come on, Harry, a few extra chins there. Let's just make sure you haven't got them off. Take one of my fluid tablets, which she took for water retention and those other women things. I said, sure. So I took some water, and you pee a lot and you get rid of a few kilos. And that was it. Took my tablet, went to the World Cup.
So when did you realise that that's what's triggered the test?
When I was going through Hooter about absolutely everything in my toilet bag, suitcases, anyone giving you anything, and that's the only thing I could think of. And so anyway, he said, what's the name of it? I said, I wouldn't have a clue what the name of it is. So we ring my mum and I said, what's that called? And she said, it's called Moduretic. So we look it all up and then comes in, it's a masking agent. It can also be a masking agent. So Hoot said, oh no, this is not good. So then you had to wait for the B sample test to make sure whether, just to double make sure that you tested positive and everything. So Cricket Australia make the decision to send me home. So I had to address the team, which was really hard because, as I said, I'm anti-drugs. I don't do them, never touched them. So I'm a bit like, well, I'm saying I'm failing for a drugs test, but I've never done them. And I didn't take this tablet to mask anything I was doing to my shoulder. It was just hard work. And the boys had seen me working so hard. So apologising to them just on the eve of the World Cup I felt so bad to unsettle their groove too, because we were all on a journey to try and win that World Cup. So I felt bad about that. I broke down in front of the team.
In tears?
Yeah. And it was tough but I was also frustrated because I thought, hang on, Mum's not going to do anything that's illegal. Mum's not going to give me something that's illegal. Yeah. And I didn't do I don't do anything else illegal. So I was frustrated, upset, but also I'd let my team down. So and the country and everyone else down. I let myself down too. So I then got sent home, and it was quite funny looking back because Michael Brown from Cricket Australia at that time, we sat on the plane and he went home with me and he goes, well, it's going to be tough. You know, there was thousands of people at the airport. I said, mate, I feel like I'm going to be okay because I know I haven't done anything wrong. Well, I don't believe I've done anything wrong. Anyway, I slept the whole way on the plane, and Brownie couldn't believe it because he thought anyone that was like under the pump going to cop it wouldn't be able to sleep. You'd be worried. So I slept the whole way, got off, sat down, went and saw my mum and said, Mum, don't worry. I'm not blaming you. It's all okay. Innocent mistake. Yes, I should have checked with a book. I should have got it and said, what's it called, Mum, before?
Yeah.
And then rang someone and said, am I allowed to take this? I just didn't think Mum would have something that was going to be on a ban list of an athlete, you know, like... So I just didn't think. So that's where my mistake was. In the end, to get banned for a year.
Just hold that thought, because what you had to do in that year is quite fascinating.
Yep.
Up next, we'll talk about how you came back,
Okay.
when you went to Sri Lanka, the Ashes, and when you gave it all away.
Okay.
Oh, there's a big appeal there. Now that's got to be close. And he's given it. Yes, he's gone forward. Now he's standing there. Cannot believe it.
Close field. Gets out. A bit of pad, and umpire Steve Buckner's given it. You can hear the two noises. Graham Thorpe's not very happy about it. There were distinctly two noises there, and umpire Steve Buckner took his usual time in giving the decision. Looked to me as though it was always going to be out.
Shouts of catch it, and Steve Warren has done exactly that. Good catch running backwards. So Shane Warne has struck for the third time in the innings.
Straightforward catch, and they're hanging around, they're pushing and they're probing, and they're falling like nine pins. He's out for a duck. Warne picks up his fourth wicket.
Oh, he's had a go at that one. This is in the air. It's a mix-up. Warren's underneath it. Will he get it? Yes, he will. He's got him. Caught and bowled Warne. That's 150 test wickets for Shane Warne.
Down the wicket, he's in trouble now. Another wicket for Shane Warne. One of the dangers of going down the wicket to him, particularly if you predetermine that this is the ball that's going to go. Shane Warne saw him coming, slipped it down the leg side. Ian Healy, thank you very much, just waiting for it. And another wicket to Shane Warne, his sixth.
Warne continuing. Oh, and hit the pad. Yes, he's got him. That's out. LBW. Oh, and that's out. Caught behind. Yes, he's got him. First ball. Beautifully bowled by Warne. Goff just pushing forward. A funny little touch there, but that is the end of Goff. 2 wickets in 2 balls, well bowled. And if ever he's got a great chance of a hat-trick, this is it. Here we go. Fleming took the last one. Merv Hughes before him. You won't see many better catches than forward short leg than that one.